welcome you to our 2021 Virtual Alumni Awards Gala, presented by Numerica Credit Union. I'm Dr. David May, Interim President of Eastern Washington University. I want to take a moment to thank you all for tuning in tonight as alumni and Eastern supporters. You're here because you recognize and want to share in the celebration of our outstanding alumni. The 5 stories you're going to hear remind us of the magic that happens when a determined individual gets a great education and puts what they've learned into practice to make their community a better place. And just think, there are over 100,000 EWU alumni doing the same in all 50 states and across the globe. To get this evening started, I'm pleased to introduce you to another president, your very own EWU Alumni Association Board President, Jeff Stannard. Jeff?
Thank you, Dr. May. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Eastern Washington University Alumni Board, I want to thank you for joining us for the 2021 Virtual Alumni Awards, proudly presented by Numerica Credit Union. As much as I would have loved to be with you all in person celebrating these 5 incredible alumni, I am so happy that we can still gather virtually to honor the amazing accomplishments they have made to their communities, as well as the Eagle for Life community. This is one of my favorite events of the year. I love seeing what incredible things my fellow alumni are doing to make the world a better place. And they never disappoint. First, I have to give a big thank you to Numerica for their continued support of this event year after year, as well as other EWU endeavors, including helping the next generation of Eagles through generous donations to student scholarships. I also want to give a quick thank you to the Washington Trust Bank for sponsoring a winner's champagne toast that we had just an hour ago via Zoom. It was so nice to see them all together before we got this evening started. Now, normally, I would have some of my very favorite volunteers helping at this event this evening, my fellow 2021 Alumni Association board members. Even though we aren't gathering in a festive banquet hall tonight, I want to thank them and take a moment to thank them for all of their hard work and dedication to their alma mater, including the members of the Alumni Awards Nomination Committee, Leah Horton, Rosemary Shockley, Holly Johnson, and 2019-2020 board member Kelly Nauman. Before we get this award started, I am pleased to introduce Kim Pearman-Gilman from Numerica Credit Union to start with a short video message.
Good evening. I want to thank you to the Alumni Association for continuing to bring the Eagle community together in a time where we're really unable to gather in person. As many of you know, Numerica Credit Union is all in when it comes to our support of Eastern. And we're thrilled to partner with the Alumni Association on fun events like tonight's, where we get to help honor some amazing EAGs doing incredible work in our community and the world. We're also proud to partner with the EWU Foundation, in which our Numerica endowment just hit $500,000 this year. This Endowed Scholars Fund supports students with a financial need who are committed to community service. And finally, we love cheering on the EAGs as the exclusive credit union of Eastern Athletics. We are already looking forward to the return of football this fall, and hopefully we will all get back out there to see that brand new turf in person really soon. I know you guys want to do that too. This year has been tough for so many, but Numerica applauds the Alumni Association for continuing to make sure our community is safe throughout this uncertain time. We're also proud to be here honoring the accomplishments of these 5 inspiring EAGs, because let's be honest, we all need something to celebrate right now, right? I'd also like to say it's in difficult times like these that the good in the world really does shine through. And at Numerica, we have remained committed to bringing happiness and light to our community. Last week, we announced the Numerica Charitable Fund grant recipients who received a total of $300,000. So tonight, we'd like to close with my welcome to you by showing you a small video that spotlights the faces of the organizations that are doing so much for our community. And we hope that you find this a fun way that we surprise them, but also another way to be inspired by all the great things that they do for us. So thanks again for being here tonight. Cheers to you, and especially the 5 alumni who are here to be celebrated. And go Eags!
Hi, this is Carla Cicero from Numerica.
I'm calling with some really good news.
Your organization has been chosen as one of this year's Charitable Fund grant recipients.
We're doing something kind of fun this year.
We will be delivering to you a very special gift, and that gift will actually announce your grant amount.
We just can't wait to celebrate with you soon.
Thank you so much, Numerica. Thank you, Numerica staff, family, friends, members. Thank you so much. We're going to eat some cake.
Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Numerica Credit Union. Hello, fellow EAGs. My name is Lance Kistler, and I'm a proud alumnus from 2004 and 2010, and I'm the Associate Vice President of University Relations here at Eastern. I'm so thrilled to be standing here as we honor these 5 amazing Eastern alumni. To any of my fellow graduates who are watching tonight, who are proud to say they learned and grew at Eastern, I am delighted to be in your company, both now and always. Now, without further ado, let's get to the reason we're here. The first award this evening is the Exceptional Military Service Award, which recognizes an alum who has exemplified exceptional military service to our country. Recipients of this award are alumni who have served honorably or are currently serving on active duty in the Reserves, National Guard, or within the Armed Forces, demonstrated outstanding leadership and exemplify meritorious service within their community, and have achieved prominence in their military careers. It is my pleasure to award the 2021 Exceptional Military Service Award to Scott West. While at Eastern, Scott was a standout ROTC cadet as well as a varsity wrestler. After graduating from Eastern in 1976, he rose to the rank of Major General in the U.S. Army, where he held key leadership positions throughout his more than 30-year career. An expert logistician, Scott has received numerous awards and citations for managing materials and leading soldiers in what is often called the most critical field in the military. His honors include the Distinguished Service Medal, the Defense Superior Service Medal, the Legion of Merit, and a Bronze Star. Let's learn a little bit more about Scott.
June 11th, 1976 was a very important day. It was sort of my longest day, if you will. It started off with being commissioned at John F. Kennedy Library there on the campus of Eastern. My fiance, Patty, and my mother pinned my gold bars on. And then at 7:30 that night, Patty became my wife. My father was a graduate of Eastern Washington College of Education, and all of his family members, the ones that went to college, all went to Eastern, so it kind of was natural for me to apply and enroll at Eastern as I came out of high school. It didn't take very long for the ROTC department and Cadet Hall to become kind of the center of my campus life. The people that I spent the most amount of time with were the members of the cadre and fellow cadets. Sergeant First Class Willie Thistle was the Special Forces advisor on the cadre there at Eastern at the time. And I remember one incident where I was getting ready to go home for the summer after my freshman year, and I had a terrible grade point average. I was on the very verge of failing out of school. Sergeant First Class Thistle took me down into his office, which was in the basement of Cadet Hall there next to the rifle range, and he told me to step in, close the door, and don't sit down. He then started in on me by saying, "Listen up, you little," and he used an expletive which I won't share with you here, but he really got my attention. He said, "You are wasting your time, and more important, you're wasting my time because you're not serious about academics and you're not serious about becoming an officer." So I spent a couple of days. I was pretty upset with Sergeant Thistle, and then it occurred to me that I needed to be upset with myself because he was absolutely right. Needless to say, I came back in the fall and I was much more serious about being an Army officer and about being a student. When I was commissioned, I had a 4-year obligation, and my intention was to do those 4 years, and then I was going to get out and get on with my original goal, which was to be a school teacher and a wrestling coach. As the years went on, I just kept having a great deal of fun doing what I was doing. I found the work to be very fulfilling, and one thing led to another, and we had 10 years in, and that was what I thought would be half a career. Little did I know that would be about a third of my career. But you know, you're reminded that a soldier who is married cannot be a soldier if his family is not willing. And I always kind of felt like if ever there was a time when Patty said, "Hey, look, I've had enough of this life and I want to go do something else," we would have gone and done that. But she and our daughters were always very supportive. And so you're reminded that throughout your entire life and all aspects of your life, being surrounded by good people is probably the most important part of that. I am very proud of my association with the Army ROTC program there at Eastern, and equally proud of to be an Eastern Washington University alumnus. Go Eags!
Please join me in thanking Major General Scott West for his service as we go live to Scott in Virginia.
Well, thank you very much. I'm here with my wife, Patty, and we thank you all. I'm deeply honored to receive this award, and equally I'm humbled. I want to thank the Alumni Association for recognizing me and my career and my family. Eastern gave me a great start. I was surrounded as a young cadet by outstanding people, and that became a constant for my career. Everywhere I went, for 34 years, I was surrounded by really great people, and they were the key to my success. Those people are far too numerous to mention this evening, but I would like to mention a couple folks, starting with Patty and our family. As I said in the video, I couldn't have done this if I hadn't had a very supportive and resilient family. And I thank Patty and our daughters, Stacy and Rachel, and Stacy and Rachel are tuned in this evening, but I thank you for your love and your commitment to this family. I also want to thank a dear friend, Kelly Hudson. Kelly recruited me into ROTC in 1972. He was a great role model and stood with me throughout my entire career. I stay in contact with him. He and I exchange emails about once a month or so, but he did a great job in coaching and mentoring me, and sir, I thank you for that. my dear friend, Brigadier General Neil Seelock. As a cadet, Neil set an example of leadership and integrity that had a very profound effect on me throughout my entire career. And Neil stayed close. Neil and I were in contact quite a bit during our career. And Neil, I thank you for your friendship, your leadership, and your mentorship. And I also want to thank you for nominating me for this award. And lastly, I've got a couple people I'd like to thank. I had the great privilege of commanding a battalion at Fort Wainwright, Alaska in the early 1990s. And while I was there, I worked for then Colonel, now Major General retired Ken Pravratsky. General and Mrs. Pravratsky were great leaders and mentors for both Patty and I through that experience. They stayed close with our family, and I want to thank them for their kindness and their generosity to our family over the many years. Once again, thank you very much. I'm honored beyond words. I thank the EWU Alumni Association. Go Eagles.
Thank you, Scott. And don't forget to open up your box and celebrate with that award that we sent you. Next, we have our Alum of Service Award. This award recognizes an alum who contributes significantly in the areas of education, community service, and/or mentorship. Recipients of this award are alumni who actively create inclusive communities by promoting equity and advancing the status of underrepresented groups. They demonstrate outstanding leadership and serve as a role model and mentor within their school, community, and/or organization. They display passion, creativity, and imagination in their teaching methods and a commitment to students that inspires learning. Or they display exceptional commitment to a community cause or organization through volunteerism and service. It is my pleasure to award the 2021 Alum of Service Award to Scott Glab. A former varsity wrestler at EWU and an alumnus of 1985, Scott is an educator, mentor, high school wrestling coach, and author who dedicated his 30-year career to helping and changing the lives of his most vulnerable students in the Santa Ana Unified School District, who faced immense obstacles to them succeeding in life. Working with local and regional agencies, he tirelessly advocated for them and their potential. Here's a little bit more about Scott.
I never liked Southern California. When I visited there, I felt people were very arrogant and self-centered. The last place I wanted to be is where God sent me. So after I graduated from Eastern, I went back to Vancouver, Washington, and I really wanted to be a teacher and a coach at my old high school. I went there and I volunteered as a coach, and I was a substitute teacher for about 2.5 years, and the job opened up. I interviewed for the job, and they said, "We're not going to hire you, we're going to hire somebody from the junior high that paid their dues." After that, along with a couple other things, I went into a pretty deep depression. I had a girlfriend at the time that lived in Southern California, and she said, "Well, why don't you move to Southern California, Orange County?" And I said, "No, I just don't want to." But she kept asking, and she said, "What do you have to lose?" I couldn't get a job to save my life in Washington, so I moved down to Southern California. Santa Ana High School needed a wrestling coach, and Santa Ana was known as being #1 in the nation for economic hardship. I didn't even like driving through Santa Ana, let alone work there, but I had no other options. There were no other opportunities. So I walked in, and the athletic director shook my hand and said, "You're hired." And I go, "You didn't ask me any questions." He said, "Nobody else applied for the job, you're it." And so I'm going, wait a minute, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. What does everybody else know about Santa Ana that I don't know? And so that was 1990, September 1990, and I was there for 29 years at that school, teaching and coaching. So the school I was at was 98% Hispanic. We were the pariah of Orange County wrestling. We were one of the worst of the worst. And we were also kind of had this perception that the kids were thugs and thieves and vandals. There was not any dedication or commitment from any of the kids. A lot of the kids had to do the things for their parents, go to doctor's appointments to interpret. I couldn't have the rules, well, you got to be on time and you got to be here every day, and if you're not, you're kicked off the team. If I were to do those kind of rules, then I wouldn't have had a team at all. As a young coach, you put your self-worth in winning. And when I got to Santa Ana, we weren't winning. We were losing 72-0, 53-8. We were just getting massacred by all the local teams. So I heard the Lord speak to me one day, and I heard, "You're never going to win here, so invest time in these kids." We were pretty bad our first year, and a lot of teams looked at us negatively and thought that we were going to be an easy win. And then all of a sudden we started winning and gaining the respect of Orange County. In California, there's 580 schools in our southern section, and 380 of those schools have wrestling. The program ended up winning 27 straight league championships. So just by giving up on winning and just saying, I'm going to throw a little faith in there, we saw something that most people call a miracle that happened in Santa Ana. Because winning in Santa Ana is not easy to do. Once you start investing in kids and you start believing in kids and giving them hope, you got a community that kind of surrounds you and believes in you, and you just start to get more help from them. It was divine intervention. I mean, all the doors are closing. Sometimes in life we want one thing. This is where I want to be. This is my home. Vancouver is where I grew up. I loved that place. I loved my old high school. I applied for jobs all over the state of California and Oregon, and it just didn't happen, and nothing came open. And so that's where I was sent, the last place I wanted to be, and sometimes the last place we want to be is the best place to end up.
Eagles, join me in congratulating Scott Glab as we go live with Scott in California.
Great. Thank you. I just wanted to thank the Alumni Association, Adriana, Stephanie, everybody that worked on this online virtual banquet for us. I know it's been a tough year and a lot of things have happened, so I really appreciate you guys going to bat and getting this done. I want to thank my friend Bob Walters. We wrestled at Eastern and been best friends ever since, and he's the one who nominated me for this award. Going to Eastern were the best years of my life. I had a great time there, some fantastic memories. For instance, watching people as they're walking to class slip on the ice. I'd sit up in my dorm room and watch them from the window. And I know it might not be funny to you, but it was funny to me because I was also slipping on the ice walking to class. Watching David Letterman with my buddy Terry Hollingsworth at night, and there'd be this Jobline commercial come on, and we'd get up and start dancing together. Going to Campus Crusade for Christ and Bible studies with my roommate Brett Widman. Other memories, I was a disc jockey at the radio station, and I almost had a career in radio TV. Thankfully, I didn't go that route. Going to dorm dances, the dances at the pub, dancing at the state line with my friends Kelly and Mindy. Those were great times. Workouts in the weight room with Frank Jasper, who played Brian Shute in the movie Vision Quest. So I just had to name drop there. Playing intramural softball inspired me to coach a few years of girls softball. And cruising Riverside Drive with my cousin Marty. He had this nice red Corvette, and we'd cruise Riverside. And then we'd go get a couple whammies over at Dick's Drive-Ins. And in fact, I saw one of my professors, my English professor, was cruising Riverside. I'm going, what is he doing down there? And then I just figured out he got stuck in traffic with his wife. So I honked and waved at him. He didn't look too happy. But I've had a lot of recognitions and awards in my 30 years, and this is really special to me because it all started at Eastern Washington. I coached at Eastern, and I coached at Cheney High School locally. And so I found my purpose and my calling at Eastern Washington University, and that kind of set me off on my career as a teacher and coach. So I just want to thank you for this award, and I appreciate you, Eastern, and go Eagles. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Our next award is full of Eagle pride. The Eagle for Life Spirit Award recognizes an alum who consistently demonstrates extraordinary spirit and pride and support of EWU and the Alumni Association. Recipients of this award are alumni who exemplify a positive image of their alma mater while inspiring loyalty and pride in their fellow alumni. They publicly support the university in their community and/or various social media channels, demonstrate their Eagle for Life spirit by encouraging fellow alumni publicly support the university in their community and/or various social media channels. Demonstrate their Eagle for Life spirit by encouraging fellow alumni to be actively engaged with the university. We're having some technical difficulty with the teleprompter. Hold, please. It is my pleasure to award the 2021 Eagle for Life Spirit Award to Randy Casto. Randy graduated from Eastern in 1991 and has been spreading Eagle pride ever since. Randy enjoys his job in the banking industry, but EWU football game days are a whole different story. If you've ever been to a game, both at Roos Field or on the road, you've no doubt seen his EWU game day bus, an 80s-style EWU-themed school bus that has become a fixture of EWU tailgating. Now let's learn a little more about Randy.
My wife is probably the best Eagle. She went there in the speech pathology program and got her undergraduate master's there. So she was going to Eastern. I think I chose a lot of that because we've been dating since I was 16, so went to North Central together. But I remember just taking the bus out and hanging out in the pub and drinking hot chocolate and biscuits and gravy. And yeah, we had just a character of people. You know, that's kind of what goes to Eastern, is all these guys who are trying to work. I really had a good econ teacher, Al Neal, who that's why I went into econ, is because he was a lawyer and he was teaching out there, and just kind of bonded with him and hit it off, and started talking to him, and he just taught there. And so I took a lot of econ classes, and that's how I became an econ major. And then my senior year I had to decide what econ majors actually did for a living. So you know, there was 3 different things I did. I went to work at a stockbroker doing an internship, and financial planning, and then banking was the 3rd thing that I did. My father-in-law hooked me up, and that's how I kind of became a banker. And I'm a relationship manager, and I have a big group of people that, you know, primarily physicians and professionals, and they become really good friends. And it's just all interaction, and love it. My wife is at every single game. She's a double Eagle, as I said. My 2 daughters graduated from Eastern, and Jake, there's still hope. He's young, but we'll try to get him to be an Eagle as well. You know, long story short is I went to a Kansas City Chief game. I was following Gonzaga for basketball, but did a number of different events this weekend and went to a Chiefs game, and they had this whole area of schoolies and school buses. And so you're sitting in the school bus here, but they're all decked out. And so I came back and I talked to another guy. We were at coffee, and we decided we bought this bus for $1,500 off of Craigslist. Just kind of thought it would be a fun thing to do to get the tailgating, you know, up to a level and just make it and have you know, as much fun as we could. And then we started painting it. It's International Harvester Red. He was a WSU grad, and we drove it down to Pullman for some of the games, and then Eastern the other games, and just started serving food and pouring beer. You know, if Montana came, then we were going to get a pig, and we were going to park in the parking lot. We were going to make a pig and do a big deal, because nothing lasts forever, and you just want to, you know, have as much fun as you can. You know, for me, you know, buying it and kind of doing it is all these people that you owe. I had the motor blow up one year going up, you know, after the Sunset Hill, and people chipped in, but we bought a new motor, and I thought that was, you know, it was probably about 4 years ago now that happened, but I was like, well, you know, $1,500 bus, I'm not gonna, it's over. And people just start reaching out, and they've had so many experiences of being on games and, you know, in the cold and not being able to leave the bus, and just, this is the lucky charm, and the bus is kind of the icon. There's so many people that, you know, that put it together, that make it work, to make it fun. You know, those people are what make you want to do it. When you look at the last 10 or 12 years, for me being able to pull in, and just, there was, you know, we've come such a long way with the school from being just Eastern. When you go to games now, it's you know, there's kids, you know, it's families. It didn't used to be that way, and you know, the tailgating is just off the charts now. I mean, for people like me, this is why I'm involved and so proud to be an Eastern Eagle, is the athletics, and it's the coaches that you get to know, and the kids, the quality of the kids that you get to know and meet, and those relationships. So that's what brings, I think people underestimate the value of your athletic programs for colleges. So many people have reached out to me and said, you know, hey, they've connected in some way. So, I mean, it's just like, you get involved at the level of Eastern is that, you know, I can walk down if I want to hear what he's going to say at halftime, and I could pop in the locker room and not be arrested. I think if I did that with Mark View, I would probably be, you know, locked up and sent away. But it's a whole personal level of you're involved. Once again, it comes back to relationships. And so I've got all these relationships that I've built. Come out, try it out, see if you like it. Most people keep on coming.
Eagles, join me in congratulating Randy Casto as we go live with Randy in Spokane on his infamous bus, and show us that award, Randy.
Well, the bus is a little bit out of Wi-Fi range, so I had to come back into my office, but I'm here surrounded by the people I love, so very grateful to win the Spirit Award. As I alluded to in the video, Michael Lynn, right here with the helmet, 32 years of marriage. I drag her to every single basketball game and every single football game, even in playoffs. And so she's the best EAG, 2 degrees. She deserves the MVP. And then, of course, my bus partners, Craig Sanders, who's over here, who doesn't want to be on camera. But I take too much credit, and he gets all the blame when something goes wrong. But I have a lot of fun. But Craig Sanders and Mark Wilkerson, who was the 6-man club president, were the 3 owners of the bus. And you know, beautiful friendships and really good friends. There's also a shareholder group of bus people that we tailgate with. Jack Heath, who's, when my engine blew up going up the hill because Bill Ames prompted me to drive a little too fast on SWX. Jack Heath, you know, helped us with the motor. The Odom guys, I couldn't do it without my Odom guys. John Ione gave me the kegerator, which somehow beer prompts work. And so it was a yellow school bus, and then it was a yellow and, you know, there was a red and white bus, and then it became better every year as people contributed. So all the people who contributed to it, Dale Piper and Jody Mellon, who tailgated next to me for 10 years, just a lot of people who deserve credit that have done it. You guys need to do something back there. Look at that guy in the helmet. That's pretty good. These are my kids. That's Jake. These are my kids. So that's awesome. You know, COVID's just been such a tough year. There's a lot of negativity out there and a lot of toxic behavior. But the thing that the award means to me is this is a positive deal. So positive attitude is just, you know, there's something you can control. And I just would prompt everybody to support their team and the coaches and the kids and the university, and just know that you are in charge of your own fun, and nobody can rob you of your joy without your permission. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Go Eagles!
Thank you, Randy. Our 4th award this evening, and a personal favorite of mine, is the Inspirational Young Alum Award. Recipients of this award must have graduated in the last decade, have attained significant prominence through professional endeavors, research, volunteerism, and/or involvement within the local or global community. Display leadership and a commitment to the service of others. Demonstrate significant initiative by starting innovative service projects, research, businesses, or other original enterprises. It is my pleasure to award the 2021 Inspirational Young Alum Award to Audra Stillians. A graduate of the classes of 2013 and 2016, Audra has worked at the Spokane Vet Center for almost 5 years, and in that time has been described as a shining star for veterans and their families. She has worked with combat veterans, survivors of military sexual trauma, state and federal agencies to broaden marriage and family counseling availability to our veterans, and so much more. Here's more about Audra's inspirational story.
So my name is Audra Stillians. I am from Eastern Washington University, class of 2016 from the Masters of Social Work program. I'm originally from Lubbock, Texas. I chose Eastern because I had the social work program. It was advanced generalist, so it allowed me to be really flexible with what I did on the outside once I finished my degree. The value of Eastern for me is a way to improve myself, improve my family, and improve people around me. I did my undergraduate in children's studies at Eastern, so that was interesting. I love child psychology and the study of children and what they're about and what they bring to the table. And then moving into the Masters of Social Work, that was interesting too. I was older in my class. It was a huge mix of people. I really enjoyed it, spending time with people, learning how to care for others in the social work realm and the helping field. Here I do internships for different programs within the vicinity for mental health counseling, social work. I've been an AFI for Eastern for their MSW program for a few students. Working in that realm has allowed me to stay connected with Eastern and the population. So I was in and out of this facility quite a bit during 2020. A number of my clients could probably nod their head yes to that, but they sustained with me. I went to training with the military as well as balancing my job here. Fought wildfires with the Whitney fire and the Inchelium complex fire. So a lot of it was balancing military life, my work life here with my veterans, and then also my family life. I am also frequently connected with the Veteran Services group out at Eastern. I work with a number of veterans, obviously. This is the agency where we work with veterans. So the population we work with here at the Spokane Vet Center, we are a VA agency. We do individual, group, and family therapy. I enjoy working with couples frequently. I have a number of individuals that I also like working with, but couples is really my bread and butter here that I enjoy working with. It's challenging, it's very rewarding. Groups, I also do a number of groups. I've done groups with horses. I've done groups with, I recently did a group training dogs to be service dogs with veterans. So they took their own dog that they had and they got them Canine Good Citizen certified. I partnered with Paws for Vets here, an agency that is providing that service for free. Well, and so many veterans experience so many different things and how they present is so different. And then you add on top of that all the environmental factors, right? Do they have a support system? Are their finances okay? Because that can just kind of explode a situation if it's not stabilized for them. I prefer to give people skill sets that they can move out of treatment and move into the world and do the best in their life that they possibly can. So that's what's rewarding for me, is just helping others, honestly. What I do every day is just simply what I love to do. What drives me to come in every single morning is seeing clients being able to move into a healthier state, whether that's financially they're more stable because they've learned different skill sets to manage their finances, or finding different skill sets of sleep, or learning how to parent properly with their children. Oftentimes I say with counseling, what I give to clients is very simplistic. It's very simplistic skill sets. It's just adding it to their daily life can be overwhelming and challenging, but having someone there to consistently sit there and listen and validate and encourage them to keep going oftentimes is what, for me, working with my clients makes the biggest shift with them. What I do in everyday life, helping others, is simply what I love to do. So me personally, I don't think it's anything amazing or great. I just want to do my best with people.
And Audra, we know you do your best every day. Eagles, join me in congratulating Audra Stillions as we go live with her in Spokane. Let's see that award, Audra.
Thank you so much for this beautiful award. I want to thank Joe Dumlau for nominating me for this great occasion. I also want to thank my husband and my son for standing by me this whole time. It's been quite a challenge these past few years getting through everything, but they really stuck by me and I appreciate it. I want to thank my parents for always encouraging me, supporting me, driving me to do better and be my best, even at times when I didn't want to. So I just want to say a quick thank you to them. I want to say thank you to the Master of Social Work program, the staff there. They really created a foundation for me that allowed me to get into the realm of service for others and bring me to this place where I'm receiving this award. A huge thank you also to the people behind this whole event, the Alumni Association, those who chose me for this award, and also the people behind the screens working all of these elections and putting everything together. Y'all are stellar and awesome. So thank you everybody for everything that y'all have done, and I hope y'all have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Audra, and we hope you all have been enjoying the wonderful on-hold music. For the low price of $18.82 a month, we can have that sent to your home so you can enjoy it anytime that you want. And now, the highest honor bestowed by the EWU Alumni Association, our Lifetime Achievement Award. It recognizes an alum who has accomplished a lifetime record of success and substantial contributions to their professional field. They've acted as an outstanding leader and/or mentor to others, shown a strong commitment to serve their community and EWU, demonstrated a history of active participation in the EWU community and a commitment to ensuring its future vitality. It is my pleasure to award the 2021 Lifetime Achievement Award to Rick Romero. Rick graduated from EWU in 1978 and then again in 1993, and spent the first part of his professional career as an Eastern employee. After his time at EWU, he worked tirelessly for the city of Spokane. He's been a passionate advocate for EWU students, as well as the betterment of Spokane for his entire professional career. Here's more about Rick.
I'm a first generation college student, like so many Eastern students were and still are. I wasn't a great student. I was quite a bit of an introvert, a little bit of a late bloomer, not a lot of self-confidence. Eastern was the only school I applied to, probably the only one I would have had any chance of surviving at. A funny thing kind of happened when I got to Eastern. I got into the residence halls and started to meet people and realized there was a lot of people just like me there at Eastern, and started to gain a little confidence. And before long, I actually was coming out of my shell. I was doing really well in school, and it became my new Newport. It was my comfort zone, and it's a big part of why I'm so passionate about it even today. I graduated in 1978 with a degree in business administration. On my last quarter, I did an internship in the student receivables area, which turned into a full-time job, and I ended up staying at Eastern for 28 years. I spent my first few years in the finance division, and kind of my career path didn't really start to change until I went back in the early 90s to get my master's degree. After I got my MBA, I stepped up and took an executive position as the Associate Vice President for Business Services for Eastern. I think at Eastern, the project I'm probably the most proud of is the revitalization of the housing system. Eastern was in a real enrollment crisis at that point. Dorms were being shut down. There was discussion of dismantling it. I recognized that it was a value question for the university. We needed to find a way to offer a greater value if we were going to attract and retain more students. Value is a combination of both cost and quality. So it isn't really just about cutting costs. You got to figure out a way to do it that also delivers more value. What we did is we significantly reduced our housing prices, and we offered single rooms at double rates. Through those discounts, with the first year we were able to improve occupancy by about 35% and fill up our residence halls in 1 year. We went from an enrollment crisis on the downside to an enrollment crisis on the upside within about 3 short years, and one of the results was we quickly had to build some additional student housing. A lot of times public entities are more inwardly focused as opposed to outwardly focused. They're siloed a lot, and they tend to be pretty risk averse. The forces of trying to push back against some of those things to get business principles applied is something that I guess just really caught my interest and was something I focused on for the rest of my career. I can't say enough about Eastern. It is what set me on the path to being able to achieve things in my life and have a little bit of success. So this isn't an award that is an individual award by any means. I owe so much and feel so blessed for all those relationships I've been able to build over the years.
Eagle Nation, join me in congratulating Rick as we go live to Rick's home.
Good evening. I'm going to open my award here on screen, and I've got my wife standing by with the scissors in case I make a knot out of this. You can Oh, wow.
It's bubble wrap. How cool is that?
Oh, that is gorgeous. That is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're limited to 2 minutes here with our remarks. So I wrote mine down, and I want to start by just saying thank you so much to all of you who are responsible for selecting and presenting these alumni awards. This is truly an unbelievable honor, and I'm touched and grateful and humbled. I've been so fortunate and blessed throughout my life to have the help and support from so many. I've had incredible bosses through my 42-year career and the opportunity to work for very transformational leaders. I've also been so fortunate to work with so many great colleagues, teammates, and partners that have made my work life so fulfilling. My heartfelt thanks to all of you who took the time to bring forward my nomination and write letters of support for this wonderful honor. You were also critical in these team achievements, and they were team achievements that this is every bit your award as much as it is mine. I want to acknowledge my amazing parents who gave my sister and I such a wonderful family life growing up. They worked and sacrificed so that I could have the opportunities of a college education, and I'm forever indebted to my incredible parents for all that they have given me. And of all the wonderful gifts that Eastern gave me through the years, the best was meeting my wife, Nancy. She has been my rock, my advisor, and my best friend. I love you, and I owe you so much. And thanks to our 3 beautiful children, their spouses, and our grandchildren who bring so much joy to our lives. I'm so proud of each of you and love you all very much. And most important, I hope that my profound gratitude for all that Eastern has given me has come through tonight. None of this wonderful career journey happens without the opportunities that Eastern has given me in life. So thank you again to all of you who made this evening and this fantastic award a reality. I'm forever grateful. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Rick, and congratulations. And that concludes tonight's celebration. Thank you to all who joined in as we've honored these 5 inspirational Eagle alumni. I don't know about you, but I love being reminded of what an education from Eastern Washington University can lead to. Thank you again to Numerica Credit Union for partnering with us again this year. I'd like to say one final congratulations to all of our award winners and end this evening with a big Go Eags!